Welcome to Fitzdog Radio, the Olympics edition. Well, it's a lot of editions. There's a lot of big news on today's podcast. Besides my guest, Brian Holtzman, who will be on in just a bit. We interviewed him. What am I, a broadcasting company? I interviewed him today, and he was fantastic. He's kind of a sleeper. You've never heard of him, or some of you have, but if you haven't, he's a treat. And one of my producers said it was the best podcast he'd seen me do. So that's what you have in store for you. Brian Holtzman out of Austin, Texas, formerly LA, formerly San Francisco, formerly Long Island. But I'm watching the Olympics, and it is weird because I'm watching the women's gymnastics, and the women are thick in a good way, like the way a black guy says it, thick, with the thong running up the ass. And then you stop and you go, and the announcer goes, she's 14 out of Memphis. You're like, whoa, hey. How about throwing some asses on those leotards? How about some shorts, maybe? I felt so fucking dirty. Like Chris Hansen was going to pop out of the closet and go, what are you watching there, Greg? And I'd fucking dart for the back door, run, get tackled in the bushes by a couple of guys in camo police outfits. So yeah, I'm gonna lay off the girls. It's not women's, it's girls gymnastics. I'm gonna lay off that for a little while. Maybe cool off with some fencing. Maybe some women that are wearing full hijabs and have knives in their hands. Maybe I need to back off a little bit on the female sport. I saw Brittany Griner on the women's basketball today. I had no idea she was that tall. Holy shit. Where did they get a prison cell big enough for her? My joke, if you missed it, about her was, I think it's, she's back, and I think it's historic because it's the first time any of us has been aware of a trade in the WNBA. That's it. That's all it was. A lot of people got upset. I wrote a tweet today, and I don't go on Twitter very often. Once in a while, I think of a corny one-liner, and then I go to Twitter, and I put it on there. I'm mostly on Instagram. And so my tweet today, let me read it so I don't fuck up what I said exactly. And by the way, is it possible, because I tried to unfollow Elon Musk because he writes so many tweets that mostly make me upset, that I tried to unfollow. You can't. Unless I'm missing something, I think you are forced to follow him and his dozens of tweets every day. So anyway, here's what I wrote. I wrote, Russia banned, so they won't be meddling in this year's Olympics. They will make up for it by meddling in this year's election. Not bad. And oh, you should have seen some of the feedback from that one. Somebody said, oh, please. And then somebody said, where is it? Full of shit as usual. Someone else said, are we still pushing that tired narrative? We have a world's worth of nonsense coming from within our own country. So Russia didn't try to meddle in the last election. Here's the thing about this fucking country. Why go so hard on your side that you can't even acknowledge? And it's true for liberals too, that you can't even acknowledge that there's some truth on the other side. There was meddling, there was interference, and whatever. I'm not going down that road. Anyway, what else? I haven't seen any breakdancing. I know that they made breakdancing an Olympic sport this year because I think it's just America once again force feeding our sports down the Olympic Committee's face just to show it's a big dick contest. First it was skateboarding and fucking snowboarding, totally American sports. Like, nah, that's going to be international now. I think we're going to do pretty good, by the way. Next year it's going to be like, or in 4 years, it's going to be like, now there's a competition on the sidelines among soccer moms, just slap fights between soccer moms. That's what we do well. Drunken golf cart rallies. Maybe you have some punchlines. Send them in to fitzdog@gmail.com. I think there's something funny. I love that I'm writing Olympics jokes. I'm going out tomorrow night to do some shows. I'm like, I'll do some Olympics jokes. Why? Once they're good, it takes weeks to get a joke to work. And by then, nobody wants to hear about the fucking Olympics. Volleyball, I like watching that. The women's volleyball on the sand is so athletic. They're so amazing. But I can't help think about what these chicks are doing to their skin. They are out there probably in the sun 6 hours a day. They don't even wear hats. And they're dark brown. And I just think, you know how this ends. This ends with them looking like they're the dying king from House of Dragons. Just big hunks of flesh flaking off. Other sports, gymnastics, maybe you get like a Gatorade sponsorship, or volleyball, or what's another sport? Swimming, maybe you get like a Wheaties box. And if you're volleyball, you're just getting like Band-Aids for your blister, fucking hospice care, wigs. I don't know. Anyway, what am I wasting time for? What I want to talk about today, the day that this podcast airs, will be July 31st, 2024, which happens to be a very special day in my life, an extremely special day that I've been looking forward to, which is my 25th wedding anniversary. I have been lucky enough to be joined at the hip for the last 2.5 decades to the most wonderful person I have ever known in my life. And look, nobody wants to hear this because it feels like we're showing off. 25 years of just being best friends. People don't want to hear it. It's like I'm trapped in a happy marriage. That's how I describe our relationship. There's no getting out. I have never, and I am not exaggerating when I say I have never once fantasized about getting out of this relationship. And that's coming from a guy who all I did was think about that. Every relationship I was in, I was constantly thinking about getting out, breaking up. I feel trapped. And it just, we just spent 2 weeks on the East Coast. We went from Vermont down through New York, and we stayed with different friends, and we just had adventures, mushroom hunting in the woods and tubing through a river in Vermont at sunset. We just enjoy each other. I'm attracted to her. I think she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I did the day I met her. I do now. I said to her friend introduced us. I said to her friend that night, I said, I am going to marry your friend. I'm marrying your friend. And 3 years, and this was at the Friars Club. 3 years later, I proposed in the Milton Berle room of the Friars Club. We slow danced to Unforgettable, which was our song, because on our first date, we were walking down the Bowery in New York, and a homeless guy started singing Unforgettable, and we stopped and we danced. We slow danced, and then I threw the guy, I threw him $10. She thought I was a big deal. And that was our wedding song. And we've had a lot of joys. We've been through a lot of traumas, a lot of deaths, a lot of struggles, raising kids, obviously, encompassing most of those things. I I'm trying not to get choked up, but this is a pretty special day. And I hope I die before her, because if she dies before me, I don't know. I don't want her to die, but yeah, let her die first. Because if she died, I don't know that I could handle it. My life, whatever. Let me talk about her for a second. She grew up in New York City, divorced parents, kind of a tough childhood. And when I met her, she was Julia Roberts' assistant. And then she basically stopped working to have kids with me because I was gone so much. She did a lot of the parenting. My kids turned out great. I give her most of the credit. Kids have ADHD. She read every book possible on ADHD. She just is the most empathetic, caring person. And now once the kids got out of high school, she went back to school. She's now a doula. She's a post-natal doula, so she works with women, teaches them how to breastfeed and sleep coach and how to raise kids. And she is now the president of the Southern California DASC Association, and she does a lot of work on that. They do a lot of charitable work to help underserved communities with teaching mothering, parenting techniques. Anyway, whatever. Happy anniversary, baby. I love you. 25 more. Here's 25 more. All right. What else is special that's going on? Oh, I know. My stand-up special comes out in a month. Holy shit, a month from today, I think. No, I think it's coming out on the 28th or the 29th. We got to figure it out because I'm doing Joe Rogan on the 27th or 28th of August, and I want it to come out that week. Lined up a bunch of podcasts. I'm doing Bert, Kill Tony, Your Mom's House, Corolla, We Might Be Drunk, Skanks, Bonfire, all of it. Neil Brennan, Mark Maron. I'm doing everybody's podcast. We're going to put out the word. Look, people, this is a lot of years of work that went into this special. It means a lot to me. I really want you to see it. I want you to tell your friends. I want you to post about it. Let's blow this fucker up before my career ends. This is it. This is going to be the final chapter in what has been an amazing book. Is it an amazing book? No. I don't know if it's final, but it's getting there. So it'll be on YouTube. We're going to do a streaming party on YouTube Live, I think the day it comes out. And then we'll be celebrating at some tour dates I got coming up. Louisville Comedy Club, August 23rd and 24th. Denver at the Comedy Works, August 29th through 31. Austin, the Mothership, September 6th through the 8th. Alaska, I'll be in Fairbanks in September. Tulsa in October at Bricktown. Tacoma in November. San Francisco in December. Go to Fitzdog.com. Get yourself some tickets. Support live comedy. All right, my guest today is a guy, if you've ever spent time at the Comedy Store and hung out late at night, you've seen this guy close out the show famously. It's the way they wanted to end the show every night for a lot of years at the store. And now he's over at the Mothership in Austin, where he goes on like 5 nights a week, and he's kind of blowing up. Rogan talks about him a lot. He's starting a tour. He's just I can't describe his comedy except there's a lot of comics that are anti-woke and they try to be edgy, and a lot of it is garbage. This guy truly does challenge what a stand-up comic can say on stage, and he does it in a very funny character. And he, underneath it, is a very sweet guy, and you'll see that on the podcast. I think you'll see both sides of him in this conversation that I have. He's the best. So here he is, Brian Holtzman. Here we go. My guest is Brian Holtzman. He's getting that microphone right in front of his face. Look at that. Don't act like you haven't had a long black thing right next to your mouth. And here's the great thing about you is that if people don't know you, it's because you've been always put at the end of the show at the Comedy Store. You were the guy, and I talked about this on my podcast once before. I'm a guy, we've both been at the Comedy Store a long time. You've been there longer than me. How many years did you do the Comedy Store?
I got picked up as a paid regular in 94.
Oh, no shit.
And 5 years trying to get in.
Wow.
Before that, I got to Los Angeles in 1989.
From where?
San Francisco.
Oh, that's right. You were up there playing the Cobbs.
I got to see the Holy City Zoo before it closed.
Holy City Zoo. That was like Dana Carvey and Robin Williams. Who else was up there in those days?
Monty Hoffman.
Yep, Monty Hoffman.
From Save the Bell.
Right.
He's passed away now.
Kevin Meaney, was he around?
Kevin Meaney.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And this guy named Tree. You remember Tree?
Yeah, Tree, of course.
With the earrings and the leather.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, thank God I don't have to put a costume on.
A Tree.
Bob Rubin.
Yeah, Bob Rubin, who had a radio show as well, didn't he?
Right. Alex Bennett used to have all the
Bennett had
comics
the radio
on in the
show.
morning.
Yep.
And Warren Thomas.
Black guy, he died.
And so there was a lot of bangers there, but it was very cliquish.
Any women? Did Paula Poundstone come through there?
I really didn't remember any.
Margaret
Cho.
Margaret Cho?
Cho, you know.
You have an Asian domestic partner, and you can't even get the last name right? Now, why do you call her domestic partner instead of girlfriend?
Because domestic partner means that if she moves out, it's going to cost me at least $100,000. That's why. You know? I want to live here.
How did you meet her, by the way?
I was working in Manhattan Beach. I was a meter maid / dog catcher in Manhattan Beach.
You weren't.
My last job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, I would have a show at the Comedy Store, and it would go really good. And I'd say, I got to quit this day job. I got to quit this day job. I'm going to do comedy. Yeah. Then I'd have a horrible show, and I'd go, thank God for this day job. Thank God for this day job. You know how it is, up and down. And that's how it was for many years.
Right.
So I was in the street, and she was with her girlfriends down at the pier in Manhattan Beach. And I said,
what are you wearing at this point?
I'm in my uniform.
Yeah.
And I said, my wife was killed in a ballooning accident, and I'm available. And that's how we met,
Well, I've known her for 12 minutes. She's got a great sense of humor, big smile. You can tease her a little bit.
Oh, yeah. She's a good
very
one.
pretty.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And so we get along just fine.
And how many years ago was that?
That was that was 7 years ago.
Oh, that long ago. Really?
17.
17 years.
So I always tell her, I guess you're really digging in, huh?
She's digging in, but she's not looking for any jewelry. Why? Has that conversation come up over the years?
No.
I mean, other people obviously ask you guys.
They all want jewelry,
Yeah.
But, I'm a retired dog catcher. What kind of jewelry can I give her, It's something out of the Cracker Jack box.
How long were you a dog catcher?
15 years.
Wow.
I mean, that was my last day job.
Yeah.
But you've seen my act, so coming up with an act like that, you might want to keep a day job.
Sure. And I'll move the mic right in front of your face more.
Okay.
So what, here, just bend the arm. There you go.
I can tell you I'm not on too many podcasts.
Yeah, right.
I don't get a lot of people calling to want me on a podcast. Thank you. No, that was a nice text message to receive.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm such a huge fan. And I didn't finish saying. So I would go to the Comedy Store, and I usually go on around, like 9:45 or so. And then I had kids at home, so I would do this. I'd hang out a little bit, shoot the shit with Neil Brennan and Mark Maron, and back in the day, Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz. But then I left. I'd be out of there by 11 o'clock, and then you would go on at what, like midnight usually?
Everybody would already be home.
The crowd would be thinned out. They've already seen Sebastian, and they've seen
Joe Rogan
and Callan,
Kevin Nealon,
Chris D'Elia, all these guys killing, and then they thin out, and then I I got to be honest with you. I'd heard the legend. I'd met you in the parking lot, and you're one of the most polite, genteel, decent people. And people go,
thank you.
Oh, no, that's not Brian Holtzman. You got to see him on stage. That's Brian Holtzman. So I never saw it. And then I go out to Austin, and I'm headlining the Fat, what's it called?
Fat Man.
The Fat Man, which was the name of the nuclear missile that leveled Hiroshima.
Bombs.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you're in the other room, the smaller room, and I was lucky enough I did my headlining set, and then I went next door, and I finally got to see Brian Holtzman. And you went up there.
Come to Texas to see me, right?
Matthew Perry had died the day before.
Oh, yeah, poor Matthew.
And you went on stage and ripped him apart, and I swear to God, I haven't, like Kevin Meaney made me laugh this hard. You made me laugh as hard as Kevin Meaney. My abdomen was cramped. I was doubled over. I laughed so hard that my nasal passages were stuffed. I had another show an hour later, and I was nasally on stage from watching you. I mean, what is it with Matthew Perry that makes you so crazy?
Jealousy.
Okay. Yeah,
Who doesn't want to be on a sitcom that lasts forever and is in reruns forever?
Yeah. But could you have been on the cast of Friends?
No, my face is too fat. You got to have a skinny face, right? Everybody on television has a skinny face. And the cameras make your face look even larger. Yeah. So in real life, it's even skinnier.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I hate watching everybody on television. They're all skinny
they're all on Ozempic.
Oh, my God.
Right. You got a fat face.
No, you got a little
Well,
fat.
the half a mustache makes it look bigger. If you grew a full mustache, it wouldn't look as fat.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you have 6 brothers and sisters.
4 sisters, but we lost one.
Okay.
We lost the middle child.
How old was she?
65.
Okay.
And she had lung, the C word. And not the C word we always like, the other C word.
Was that ovarian cancer?
No, lung cancer.
Yeah, all right.
She had Hodgkin's when she was younger in college. She was,
Jesus, really?
One time she fell down the stairs at home and dislocated her shoulder. One time she broke her leg. There are some people that are prone to injury. It seems to happen. It's like guys who get married and divorce. They're the guys that get married a lot. They just keep getting married. They love it. They just love it.
If you have a wife that is prone to bruises, that might be your fault.
No, not if she deserves it. Then it's her fault. But so I have 4 sisters, 3 now. One lives in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yeah.
Bobby Ann. Mary Ann is in Alexandria, Virginia. She's 80 today. Happy birthday, Mary Ann.
Happy birthday, Mary Ann.
And I guess I got her a gym prescription.
Subscription?
You know, membership.
Membership. Yeah. At that age, it is a prescription.
And she smoked. Yeah. What is she gonna do? Just read magazines in the lobby?
Right.
She was smoking cigarettes, and the doctor all those years, and the doctor said, you know, you got to stop smoking. You got to pick, air or cigarettes. And you know what she picked?
Cigarettes.
Air.
Oh, she quit.
Yeah, she picked.
Oh, good.
She picked air.
Well, Jesus Christ, when you're
Have you ever smoked cigarettes?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah,
you gave it up?
I did.
It's amazing. You know, what we know now.
Yeah. Your
lungs, what gives you air.
Yeah.
Why would you, in your right mind, want to damage the organ that gives you air?
Yeah, right.
It's
yeah.
And now with the vaping?
Well, it's weird that your sister died of lung cancer and then your other sister continued to smoke. Like, I quit because my father died of smoking. He was 53 years old.
Oh, that's young.
He smoked 3.5 packs a day, and he died of a heart attack, and the doctor said it was because the artery that runs next to your lung was becoming inflamed because of the heat from all the smoke in his lung, and it caused it to clog up, and there was a clog. And
So you've outlived your father.
You know how weird it is? I'm 58. You know how weird it is to turn 53 when your dad died at 53? You honestly feel like this is the finish line. The whole year I felt, meanwhile, I don't smoke. He drank he was an alcoholic, smoked 3.5 packs a day, full of stress, ate bad meat, didn't exercise. I don't do any of those things. So I think I'm going to live. I don't want to live forever. I'd like to live till I'm 80 and then check out.
No, when you get to that point, you're going to want to keep going.
Fuck that.
No, that's what everybody says. But
No.
what's on the other side? You want to keep going as long as you can.
No. No, I mean, I don't want to be a burden on my family. I don't want to.
Oh, I do. I want to be a burden on. I want to be a burden on somebody. And if I die, I want to do it on one of those long flights.
Yes. Yeah. At the beginning of the flight, so they got to look at you for 3 hours.
Right. Maybe halfway where they have to divert. And
I want somebody to give me mouth to mouth and then have my cold lips die on their mouth.
Okay, then. We'll be right back after this short message. Beta prostate. Beta prostate.
I want to look up and see somebody pounding my chest going, no, God damn it.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I was on an airplane with Rose going to the Philippines and some.
Is she from the Philippines?
Yeah, she's from the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah. And she takes care of my affairs here in Los Angeles when I'm out there.
You have affairs and she takes care of them? Like she drives them to the house?
You know, she waters the garden.
Oh, I see.
She takes
I misunderstood.
Care of
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
And we were going to the Philippines, and there was a woman who fainted right in front of the restroom. We were at the bulk seats. Right there was the restroom.
Yeah.
And she was on the floor, and, people are over. And I said, I don't want to be diverted. Coming back, you don't care what happens.
Yeah.
But when you're going someplace, you want to get there.
You're right.
So I was like, come on, get her up and put her back in the seat and stop this nonsense. Put some cold water on her. I wanted to get up and start kicking her a little bit. And then there was somebody there, a doctor was there, who says, no, you don't put cold water on there. All I was thinking about was myself and getting to Thailand or wherever, or the Philippines. Get up. This is going to divert.
Yeah.
If it goes on too long, it's going to divert.
Yep.
So
they'll wait because I was flying back from South Africa. So,
wow, I want to go there. I've never been there. I heard it's beautiful.
I've gone twice, and we're going again for Christmas this year.
As a tourist or working or both?
Tourist, yeah. I should set up a date, though. I should set up a gig while I'm there.
Tabletop Mountain.
I've climbed it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a hike. Tabletop Mountain in Cape Town is basically, Cape Town's pretty flat. And then there's this one, it looks when you're flying in like a skyscraper because it's so narrow. It's just sticking straight up. And we went on a hike, and my mother-in-law at the time was probably 70, and but she's a tough New Yorker. And so we get to, and tabletop is no joke. It's like you're on all fours climbing for parts of the climb, and it's straight up. And by the end of it, me and my brother-in-law were behind her, pushing her up the hill. She couldn't make it, and we got to the top. We get to the top, and you don't climb down. You can't climb down. It's too steep. So they have a gondola. The gondola?
Yeah.
That was called, that takes you down to the bottom. And the wind was blowing so hard, they closed the gondola, and they told everybody we had to climb down the mountain.
Oh, my God.
And it would have literally been carrying her in our arms the entire way. So we go up, and they've got like a little beer garden, little place. We get some lunch, and we're waiting, and then somebody screams in. They open the gondola, and we don't know for how long. We fucking cut every South African. These South Africans were going up the hill. They weigh 92 pounds. They got flip-flops on. Got a tire over their shoulder. And they're going, and they're flying past us. We cut in front of all those motherfuckers. We got on that gondola. We got to the bottom.
It must be great if you're going back.
It's amazing.
You don't usually go back to another because there's so many places to go in the world. But if you go back again, it was amazing.
Well, my wife's brother lives over there. He married a South African, so he's been there for 20 years. That's why we keep going back.
Oh, I see. So you have some family over there. That's pretty expensive airfare, huh?
It was a lot, and there's 4 of us. It's me and my 2 kids, so it was a shitload of money. Yeah, but I make a lot of money.
You hear that, Rose? Oh, she's gone. What is she doing?
Where the fuck is your partner?
I don't know where she went.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. How long ago did you quit the day job?
It was Friday the 13th, 2019, right before COVID hit.
5 years ago.
I was sent home.
From the dog catcher job.
Yes, and they kept me out of service pending an investigation until July 30th of 2020. And then I came in.
What was the investigation?
And I had some problems at work, not in the field. I was a wonderful employee with the general public. It's your coworkers. It's your you don't know this. You've never had day jobs. You've been an entertainer.
These are my coworkers. These handsome guys over here.
I love the way their shorts just hang on their hips. You know,
and this guy just did boxing. He came in. He took a shower. You could have seen it if you got here earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what time? So they brought me in on July 30th. Thursday, July 30th, 2020, and they said, Brian, today's a day that
lives in infamy.
You're going to retire today, or you're going to be fired.
Wait, what was the incident? Were people complaining about you?
You know, it's a day job. It was a cry for help. It was time for me to go. You know, I made my goal was to get 15 years.
Yeah, but what did you do? What were they complaining about?
You know, you don't have to do much today at work. You can say the wrong word. You can, the emails fly.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the animal control truck to come back. It didn't come back. So I was hanging around. You know, you want to get in the animal control truck. You want to start your shift. I want to go get my hair cut. I want to go to Target.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do all the things. I want to go to the bank. I want, you do this stuff at work.
Yeah. Yeah, you got shit to do. You're a busy guy.
This is beautiful Manhattan Beach, California.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful place.
You got a beautiful life partner. You want to get down to her. You want to throw a move on her before dinner, maybe, right?
Right. And I said to somebody, a fellow employee, a woman, I said, can you curse on this podcast?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I said, I am so sick of this fucking bullshit, and everybody in this department can fuck themselves.
That had been building, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was just me venting. You know, it's good to vent. You know,
right.
Most people don't vent, and that's why they get sick.
Yeah.
So, and she was with a trainee, so I guess it didn't look good with a new employee.
Okay.
But I told the new employee, not you, Jan. It was another sit-down urinator, another woman in the workplace. Oh, women in the workplace, just great. Oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have to. You know, it's just horrible if you know anybody who works today in any capacity. It's just.
So it's the women.
Oh. You know, a guy you can shake, you can tell a guy, and you can be friends, and you can get women. No, it's a constant battle of walking around on eggshells.
Right, yeah.
You know, especially if they make a pass at you, and you reject that pass, then they're after you now.
Yeah,
you're a dead soldier. You're an enemy soldier now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and did that happen often at work? Were women hitting on you a lot?
No, not particularly. But
did it ever happen once?
Oh yes, once, but I was kind of turned off by her. Her car was so messy.
Her car was.
It was like a garbage pail, you know.
I judge people by their cars. I swear to God, if you give me a ride in your car and you're a smoker, fast food, you got ashes in the ashtray, you've got fucking the '80s station on. The '80s music that was 45 years ago. There's been so much good shit since then. Or go back to the 60s.
You wonder if they even wipe their ass.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you see handy wipes in the passenger seat, and you go, oh, this is where you do it.
And that would happen. But I got my goal. I got 15 years.
So what does that mean when you get 15 years? You get a pension?
You get a little snippet. Yeah, I got the pension.
How much they pay you in a pension every month?
I worked there 15 years.
Yeah.
But they let you buy 5 years. 5 years of, they call it, what do they call it? Service time. You know,
okay.
You can pay for additional years of service.
So you get health benefits for that time.
And you can do your military, 4 years of military service.
Oh, you were in the military.
So I bought 4 years of military service in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And I bought 5 years. So I bought a total of 9 years. So I worked there 15.
Yeah.
But my pension reflects 24.
Whoa.
The only people who get a better deal than that are the congressmen, that do 2 years or
Right,
one term.
right. And they got the inside trading going, so they can take that money and triple it.
Is it common for him to stare at me while I'm doing this podcast?
Well, you said you were attracted to him. Maybe the feeling's mutual.
Maybe there's a connection.
Yeah.
Where's the other character witness?
You draw people's attention to you. You're somebody that people look at and they try to figure out.
Right.
You're not somebody. You're not one-dimensional. There's a lot going on.
And in my other job at United.
Wait, hold on a second.
Then I had United. I was working at United Airlines.
Baggage handler?
That's what brought me up to the Bay Area.
Okay. And so you get a pension from that too?
A small snippet, yes.
Wait a minute. So what does that add up to every month? How much are you getting in benefits
you're
every
not
month?
supposed to talk about
Talk about it. I'm curious. I want to know what I have to look forward to. I mean, are you making enough to live on through all that?
Oh yeah, everything's fine. The comedy's just
it's gravy.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah.
I just did this tour with these Danger Cat guys.
Yeah.
And they set it all up.
Now you're making money in stand-up like you never did before.
Oh, never did before.
Yeah, because
more than I had doing both of those day jobs.
Yeah, that's amazing. No,
these comics are making a lot of money. They're laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
Dude, guys are playing arenas, 15,000 people. They're paying $100 a pop. That's $1.5 million at the door.
See, I would be tempted to just. I told Fluffy, Fluffy, what do they call him?
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, he was in the green room with his entourage and the managers and his agents.
Yeah.
I said to him, just do Dodger Stadium once a
year.
And lower your overhead and get rid of all these fucking people.
Dude, that's all I think. When I think about these guys making $800,000 for a show, I think I'd be done. Then I'd go to the Cayman Islands. South Africa.
The pyramids.
And then you see Bert, and he's doing one of those every night for 9 months of the year.
That's a lot of write-offs.
It's a lot of write-offs. But you know what? He's generous with it. He's super generous. He gives 10% to Comedy Gives Back, which is a fund that helps comics that need rehab, that need health insurance. It's an amazing charity. He's so fucking generous. I just did some dates with him on his tour. He sent me a gift bag. It was a duffel bag. It had iPod headphones in it. It had a grill. They're mailing me a fucking grill.
Wow,
that's a smoker. Nice. Yeah.
Peters is pretty generous.
Russell
too.
Peters.
Yeah, I heard he's
Yeah,
really...
he had my friend was opening for him, and they were in the Hong Kong airport. They were changing flights, and Russell goes, "I'll be right back." Goes to the Rolex store, comes back, gives my friend a brand new Rolex watch.
Leather jackets. Oh, yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, very generous.
You know what I give my feature act? Nothing. Nothing.
A coupon or something. Food.
If we go to a meal, I pick it up. But some of these guys, they fly them in. They pay for their hotel. I'm not making that kind of money.
Right.
That guy... I got him the gig. That's it. Now he can do well, and they'll bring him back as a headliner. He can make some real money.
Right. He can make some connections while he's there.
I mentor a lot of comics, though. I help them with their act. I introduce them to agents. I get them into the clubs if I think they're good. I give them advice. But I'm not throwing duffel bags full of fucking gifts around.
Right.
Wait, so I want to go back to you. So now you're going on tour on your own. I looked at. I didn't see a lot of tour dates. You got something in December at the Improv up in Oxnard.
Oh right, Oxnard got canceled. It was supposed to be the date.
I'm plugging your one date in December and it's moved.
No, it is. But it was this. It was supposed to be with this group we just did.
Oh, right now.
And it got taken away. Somebody added a Sunday.
Oh.
So they did it. They moved it to December 19th. Wait
a minute. So could you do your fans a favor and get a website for yourself? You don't have a website.
Yeah, I want to. I talked to Schubert. I want to keep my I want to keep it manageable.
What a bullshit cop out that was. I want to keep it manageable. For $500, you can get a college kid to make you
I'm
a
already
website.
paying $14 a month for that stupid blue check, No,
seriously. Then you can list tour dates. You can put video clips
there's not that much to
but you're growing right now. You have to step up. This is your moment. Right. You're having a moment. Joe Rogan loves you. Yeah. He talks about you on his show.
I don't have to go on the show. People
you
say,
don't have to go on the show.
No. He said, what? People say, when are you going to put you in? Listen, he talks about me.
It's better that he talks about you. You go on the show, you might disappoint everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. What am I going to talk about?
But he talks about you like the second coming. He talks about how you're one of the most inventive comics in the country. How he puts you in the middle of the lineups now. How many nights a week are you at the mothership?
Wednesday through Sunday. I'm off on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Wednesday through Sunday.
About 8 shows.
Oh, you do 2 shows a night?
Yeah.
And you get paid.
I hope.
And you get paid
every time I go back.
And those are
everybody's moving there.
Right. Enough. Stay home. So, and those pay good money because Joe basically gives the door to the comedians.
And I have my Holtzman and Friends.
What's that?
That's my show in the big room.
What night is that?
Thursdays.
Okay.
10 p.m. usually.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the neighborhood, I'll put you on for sure.
Oh, so you get a big chunk of the door on that, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's real money.
That's real money.
That's real money.
And so I don't even have to get on an airplane and go anywhere. And I never went anywhere. Greg, is it?
Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really went anywhere because I had my comedy store and my day jobs. So this is all new to me.
Do you want to go on the road and do other clubs?
Just but I can't go on the road and do other clubs if I'm at Joe Rogan's club.
Well, you do
a little bit here, a little bit there. I just want to,
You just want to be a kept man, basically.
I want to keep it manageable.
Yeah. Here's what's nice about you. There's a lot that's nice about you. You really are. You're a lovely man. But people don't understand how lovely you are. Like, I was at Voodoo Donuts down the street. It was like midnight, hanging out with Adam Egget. And
Adam Egget.
Yeah.
Fly south, Adam. Fly south for the win. Oh, he's got the weight of the world. The whole world wants to work at that club.
He's the booker for the club.
And he's got to be the guy that says,
Yeah. He says no to a lot of people.
Oh, my God. Agents, managers, comics.
He brings me in once a year, and I'm going in September, and I'm worried
good.
because
I'll be there in September.
I don't have the new hour, though. I've got about a half a new hour.
You don't need a new hour.
I don't know. I don't want him to look at me and be like, this guy's not writing. So I did a bunch of Olympic stuff this weekend.
That's what I disagree with. If the audience doesn't know what's new and what's old, as long as they're laughing in the moment, this always needing new stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, if they're laughing as hard as hell,
yeah,
do you want to keep that from them?
Right.
Because you think that, each show should stand alone.
Right. Do a little crowd work.
Crowd work. I couldn't believe the guy that does the crowd work.
Who's that?
Who's the professional crowd work guy who's real good at?
Ian Bag?
I didn't know he did. I didn't know I thought he was just doing a little crowd work in the beginning.
No.
It's the whole hour, the whole show is crowd work. I couldn't believe it. I said, holy shit. They do a little and then they move on. He doesn't move on. The whole thing is crowd work.
What are you playing out there for? What do you think? We're on TV?
I'm just trying to make eye contact with the workers,
The workers. What are the proletariat?
The employees.
Yeah, right.
The team members.
Yeah, the little people.
Team members.
Yeah, right.
The associates.
Notice no women. I don't need to walk on eggshells around here.
God, eggshells.
Yeah.
God. Well, they got hormones. They got all hormones running through their body.
Yeah.
They got changes.
Yep. They got expectations about having babies at a certain age, and if that's not happening, they get all upset.
We make fun of women a lot, but, we realize they've got a heavy pull.
Yeah. They got the power. As Dave Attell once said, what is it? I'll think of it later. But I'm in Voodoo Donuts. It's midnight. I'm with Adam Egget. And you're walking out, and you got 4 giant boxes of donuts. I go, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, I'm bringing them for the staff. How often do you do that?
Once in a while, I go to Costco and get those big...
No, this was Voodoo Donuts. These
yes,
are
I realize
ones.
that. But, yeah, sometimes I like to,
Spread the love.
Yeah.
So you're very popular at the club with the staff.
I'd like to think so. I wanna have sex with all the waitresses.
Yeah, they got beautiful.
But
waitresses.
I don't want them to talk about the size of my hog. They like to do that. So I tell them on stage, I don't want to fuck them. I want to eat them. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? So what? They tell everybody I have a small tongue. Who cares? I want to eat them. But they're beautiful. Oh, and they got those tight. You've seen them. You were there. They're very tight. Every one is like a 10.
Yeah.
So I say, I don't want to fuck any of these women. I don't want them talking about, because that's what they do.
Yeah. They're all going to talk about your hog. But if you eat them, they're going to talk about what a generous guy you are. He gives us donuts and he eats us out.
Us out. I'll stick my fingers up there, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my personal package to myself.
Sure,
you don't
sure.
mind.
And Rose would prefer that as well, right?
Oh,
keep
Rose.
it clean. She left. What the fuck happened to Rose?
I don't know where she went.
She's like, I sit
Should
on
I call
couch.
her on
It's
the phone
okay.
and
I
see where
sit
she
on.
went?
Yeah, give her a call.
God.
This is really. Oh, she's putting
Yeah,
money
that
in the
was
meter.
that was
Okay.
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. She was in the podcast booth. Oh, she was. Okay. Well, put the phone away, Brian.
Okay.
I can imagine a guy
No
a guy
problem.
like you.
Put the fucking phone away, you idiot.
Well, after 18 years, a guy like you with a woman like that, I can see why you're checking on where she is constantly. Because she's not long for you. I'm surprised it lasts this long. She's a beautiful Asian woman.
And she worked in a bump bar in Angeles City for many years.
What's a bump bar?
She gets under the table and she gives fellatio to the sailors that come in on the ships. And I got her out of that life. And now she can do it to my friends. You come over and Rose will blow you and everybody else in this room. And that's what I like about Asians. They're very caring and giving people. You just got to get over that flat face. If you can get over the flat face and the missing bridge of their nose, you're in good shape.
So you saved her. She was in a rough. She was in a rough life, and you saved her.
Oh, there she is
Oh,
now.
there's Rose.
Oh, hello.
Welcome back. Were you looking for a bump bar down there?
How you doing over there? You okay?
You feed the meter?
I put some coins.
Okay, good.
Say refrigerator. Say quarters.
What's great about you is that you're open-minded enough to date somebody who's not your ethnicity, but you're still closed-minded enough to be racist towards them during the relationship.
Yeah, I think it works. It works.
Hey, now, did you ever have a wife? Were you ever married?
No.
How did you go all these years without falling into that trap?
Because I was drinking a lot and coking up a lot at the Comedy Store for a good number of years, and doing the comedy. I mean,
nobody wants that lifestyle.
And I realized, I had a girlfriend once in Long Island, and I dodged that 8-ball. I had all the family members are divorced. Mary Ann is divorced. Never remarried. Then there's Jay. He has we don't know if he has 3 wives or he's
he's the one dating the Colombians.
Yeah.
He's
divorced and remarried, and then we don't know if the first marriage was done before he got married again. But this is my brother Jay. We talked about the Woodstock type.
Right.
And then Bobby Ann, she's divorced. She remarried, and then Terry. Terry's divorced.
No shit.
And then Bruce is divorced.
No.
Yeah, Bruce was married for 22 years or 23 years, and
that's one of those kids leave the house and all of a sudden you realize you got nothing to talk about, so you break up.
No, it was there was Bruce. Bruce. His wife fell in love with a gentleman by the name of Carmine.
No.
And if you ever lived with my brother Bruce, you would fuck Carmine too. You would fuck the shit out of Carmine if you had to live with my brother Bruce. So people get married and they realize this is a heavy load. I got to get out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. So I knew my chances, and then it's a heavy load. You've been married for quite some time.
I will be married. You ready for this? In 2 days, it's my 25th anniversary.
25 years.
25 years.
That's a special club.
It is a special club. It's the silver anniversary. I got to buy her something silver.
Right. Go down to Chinatown.
That's the real silver, right?
Well, it's better prices.
Yeah, because it's silver plated.
After this, I'm going to go down to Chinatown and get my hair cut.
Yeah, right.
It's like $10 or something.
Yeah, and you never had kids?
No,
not
that I know of.
Thank God.
I was able to pull out successfully.
Yeah.
Pulling out is an art. A lot of guys don't know how to do it.
What's the key?
As soon as you feel the sperm coming up your shaft, into that little tube right before it gets to the head area, pull it out.
Pull it out.
Pull it out.
That's
that pre-cum can make somebody pregnant too. You got to watch out for the pre-cum.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever have to take somebody in for an abortion?
I would say,
let's just say
you're a very funny comic. Yeah, I like your comedy a lot.
Let's just say you're pro Roe v. Wade.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's a gray for a man. It's a gray area. Whether it's good or bad, it's simply not in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
How can I tell someone what to do with their body?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I'm constantly trying to tell women what to do with their body.
Move it this way. Move it this way. This is a fun podcast. I'm having a fun time.
Well, you're the best. I mean, I was so excited to have you on because I wanted to get into your life because I don't know anything about your life. I know you grew up in Long Island, and and
I went in the Air Force for 4.5 years.
Are you Jewish? What's Holtzman? Is that
Jewish, Irish, and German.
Okay.
It's kind of like a mutt mixed. My father was Jewish, perhaps, but my mother was not. So, of course, you know how the Jews are. It has to be the mother has to be Jewish.
That's right.
It doesn't count.
That's right. Yeah.
No,
yeah, my wife's father is Jewish and the mom is Irish.
Same thing.
Yeah. So growing up, I'm going to guess your parents did not have a good marriage because otherwise all of their children would have gotten divorced.
We never saw the Barbara and Joe. We never saw them fight.
No kidding.
He would come home. He was a fireman in New York City. They lived in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and they moved out to Long Island. He would come home after he left the fire department. He got a job at the Social Security Administration because he wanted regular days off.
Yeah, and not to possibly die in a fiery death.
Right.
Yeah.
Fall through a floor.
Yeah.
And he would come home, and Barbara would ask him, Joe, would you like make him a drink when he came home? Oh, they got along beautifully.
No kidding. Did you ever overhear them make love?
No.
I've never heard my parents either.
No, and it wasn't a large house. It was a regular
7
house.
kids. How many bedrooms?
1 bathroom.
No.
Upstairs there were 2 rooms. 1 big room to the right, a smaller room to the left. That was upstairs. A basement. Their room. A room here. And they put an extension over here, and that was their bedroom for a while.
So kids had to share rooms.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anybody had their own room.
Who'd you share with, Jay?
Bruce.
Bruce
is a retired Local 3, EBIF, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
That's a good job. Union job, baby.
And he loves Donald J. Trump.
He does.
Long Island loves Donald J. Trump.
They do.
They hate him in the city.
Yeah.
But they love him on Long Island.
It's true. It's true.
I hope he wins and kills everybody in the country. Yeah. Let him be a dictator. Because every 4 years, they say it's going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be different.
Yeah.
Let's try something else. Get rid of those congressmen.
Just burn it to the ground.
Burn it to the ground.
Yeah. Right. And then what emerges out of the ashes? What happens after that?
Who knows, Greg?
Yeah, Fitzsimmons.
Who knows what emerges from the ashes?
Yeah.
Hopefully a couple of good-looking guys like this.
Oh, they're going to be the heroes. They're going to be the heroes.
They have nice teeth, too, huh?
They have nice teeth, and they're the kind of guys that if you're a woman and there's civil war and stuff's getting burned, that's the guy is wearing boxing shoes. That's the guy you go to save you. Not you. Not a guy in a sad Filipino fucking sweatshop shirt.
Rose got this for me.
It's awful.
Blame Rosario.
Rosario.
Bautista.
She's nicely dressed. She dresses you like that, so you're not going to fuck any of the waitresses at the mothership.
I don't want to fuck them. I told you. I just want to eat them.
Yeah.
Just want to eat them.
She doesn't want you coming home with bad breath.
Let me just eat you out. God, please. Let me just suck it.
Yeah. Have you ever been with a man sexually?
No. I had a guy try.
What happened?
The neighbor got me. They get you. That's why we can't stand him. They get you when you're vulnerable. He said, "Come on, look at my car."
How old were you?
Old enough to know. And he started doing this with the belt, and I got the hell out of there.
Yeah. Right.
So it happens. It happens a lot more than we know. But yeah.
Sure.
But this is the human condition.
Yeah. All right. So you're growing up in Long Island. Your father's a fireman.
You don't want to hear about me molesting the children? Just because I wasn't molested doesn't mean I can't molest children. We'll be right back.
Well, let's just say if a sketch artist is starting a picture of a child molester and they're getting the clues from the victim,
right,
they start with the mustache you have. They just assume he has that mustache, and then they get the details on the rest.
I see these kind of mustaches in old movies. I think they're just grand.
Yeah.
The black and whites and
sure.
What do they call them? Nowhere.
Nowhere?
No, I'm mispronouncing it. What do they call those?
Noir? Film noir? No air.
And the lighting is great. Those old movies are just great.
I know. I just saw a great one recently. I forget what it was called, but no, film noir is really great. And so you're growing up on Long Island. You got 6 brothers and sisters. You don't have a big house. You going to Roosevelt High School?
General Douglas MacArthur High School in Levittown, right near Governor's. You been to Governor's?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you want to die a horrible death, do the Late Show Friday at Governor's on Long Island. Savages.
It's kind of a closed club though. They're very selective who they book over there.
They are, and they got guys like Joey Cola, John Joseph that come in there and annihilate, and the crowds come in. And if you're not those guys, you got to prove yourself really fast, or else you lose total control of the show. It's all Italians, Irish.
Oh, Long Island,
Yeah.
A whole room full of Alec Baldwins.
That's right.
Egomaniacs.
You could get shot. Yeah. Yeah, egomaniacs. Guys that spend more than they make.
You got... you can shut the sound off on your television or whatever device you're using, and you can see somebody with an ego problem. They don't even have to open their mouth.
Right.
It just leaks out of their paws.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're in Long Island. What was your first job growing up? Did you have
Burger King. I also worked at a department store. I was the guy who, when a woman goes into the change room, and you have to see how many garments she brings in.
Yeah.
And you give her I did that for like 5 minutes. And
did you ever look in the rooms? Or did you try to peer in?
No.
I don't believe that.
I don't.
I picture you as a 13-year-old with that same mustache and that same fat face, just peering around through that curtain.
How complimentary you are today. I'm glad I came on this fucking podcast. Oh, I'm happy. Rose, you're going to get smacked on the way home in the car. I'm going to take out my emotions on you. And you won't tell anybody because you'll get shipped back.
On a boat, right? Not even on a plane.
Slow boat, yeah.
Right.
You can get CVs on the way over there. And then you like to read too, don't you?
I do. I love to read.
Oh my God, yeah, reading is great. A good book, you see a movie, you leave the theater and you go on with your life.
Yeah.
But a good book you miss.
Right.
You miss the characters. Did you ever get the book I told you to get?
Oh, what is an Irish?
The Memory
writer, right?
of Running.
Yeah, oh yeah. What was it again?
It's called The Memory of Running.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Who wrote it? Do you remember?
He's passed away. He was an actor. I don't know if that was his only book, but
okay.
You'll have to Google it. The Memory of Running. You gotta read. That's a great.
I'll get it.
It's one of those.
I probably
books,
ordered it on Amazon when you told me to, and
I read
what's
his name, Sam Tallent's book, Running the Light.
Okay.
And
oh yeah.
Have you
I
read
heard
that?
that's really good.
It's good because he has a real command for the language,
right,
and his wordage, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I hated it. I couldn't wait because he's such an effective writer that you hate the character, the comic.
Yeah.
You hate it.
Yeah.
You hated him. He was violent. He was a drug abuser, and just a terrible, terrible road comic.
Right.
Miserable. You know, as efficient as he was on stage, his personal life was very morose.
Yeah.
Train wreck.
Yeah.
But you were wonderful in the movie. Can we plug your?
Oh, please. Yeah. Road Dog with Doug Stanhope. You were so sweet. You called me out of the blue, and you just told me you'd seen it, and you had such nice things to say.
Yeah,
it meant a lot
nailed
to
it.
me.
You nailed it.
Thank
you nailed it. The camera doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And you were one of the highlights, in my opinion, of the movie.
That's nice to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. So see
Road Dog. Yeah, it's available on all streaming platforms. And you've done some acting as well. So you've
little
done some
bit here
TV
and there.
stuff.
I'm a union member. I'm an objectionable member.
Yeah. You'll get kicked out eventually.
No. Why should I get kicked out?
Because you're going to call some
woman. You know what? I've had enough. I've had enough of this. This is a chop shop. What do they call it? What do they call a piece? What do they call
a hit piece?
This is a hit piece. This is a fucking hit. And what do they call an objector? You get a lower dues rate.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're sitting out. You're
how I got
on the
that?
sideline.
I got it in from Eddie Griffin, that movie Foolish.
Oh.
Remember that movie Foolish?
Of course.
And this is when I realized that acting is much like it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
I was in a scene. I played a comic, I think, and he played the manager or somebody. You know that guy in Goodfellas who got hung in the meat? They hung him in the truck. And
yeah, of course.
That guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He was in a scene with me.
Uh-huh.
And the first take, I just nailed it.
Yeah.
And right away he said, "Well, can we do that again? Can we do that again?"
Oh.
Because you can't outact somebody who's bigger than you.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, why would you want to do it again? And it's never going to be the greatest as when you just do it.
Are you familiar with filming movies? They do many takes every time.
Well,
you don't ever shoot it once.
They call me one take Holtzman. Oh yeah, they only need to do it. But you know what's great now? They can't.
Is that your sexual partners call you that?
Eat him! Eat him! Eat him! No. So, and they can't yell now. Oh, we're running out of film. We're running out now. It's all digital, so they can shut up about that.
Right.
But I did 4 episodes of My Wife and Kids.
Wow.
I was the token white guy.
Uh-huh.
And that was fun. And I was at Disney with the other 2 fellas. DJ, what was his name?
Khaled?
No, they were black. I said, it was Disney in the chow hall in the cafeteria, and I said, wow, why is everybody so happy here?
Yeah.
Why is everybody so happy here?
Yeah.
And the guys were real funny. He says, because they're making money, Holtzman.
Yeah, right.
Because they're making money.
Yeah.
That's why they're so happy here.
Yeah. There's no happier place in the world than a TV set. Everybody's in the union. Everybody's making money. And you're having fun, even if it's a bad show. Some of my best experiences in show business are writing on horrible shows because you don't care. It's more about the hang.
Everybody knows it sucks.
Everybody knows it sucks.
Because the actors aren't. What does everything?
It usually starts from the top.
You're talking about a sitcom type
I've
show?
written on sitcoms. I've written on sketch shows. I've written on the sketch shows are the hardest because name more than 2 good sketch shows in history. You had SNL. You had In Living Color. You had Kids in the Hall. You had Mr. Show. Monty Python, and that's it. And there've been hundreds that have tried.
What about Mad TV was pretty good, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Some of it. Some of the guys and gals on there were proficient.
The sketches went too long, and they were directionless because they let them improv.
Right. Yeah, and another thing that's handicapping it is the material, the content, everything has to be sanitized.
Yes.
There can't be anything rough.
Somebody should do a sketch show that's really raw and just put it. Why are we at the point? Like, obviously, media has changed so fast. I was just talking about radio with somebody the other day.
Who?
Jesus. Who was I talking? Bill Burr. And we were talking about how local radio was everything. You would fly in a day early, and you would do radio interviews to promote your shows. And then it became syndicated. It became Howard Stern. It became Rush Limbaugh. All radio was national. And then all of a sudden, Sirius XM came along, and that was the thing to listen to. And then podcasts came along, and now nobody's listening to anything but podcasts. So if you look at TV, it's in the middle of evolving, but it's happening very slowly. Like it went from broadcast to cable TV, and now it's gone to streamers. But when is it going to be like a podcast where you get a budget from sponsors and you shoot stuff? Like Shane Gillis actually did it. He did episodes of a show that was just on the internet that he funded himself, was low budget.
Is that how he got the Netflix show?
And that's how he got Tires. But why aren't more people funding like a sketch show where you can say whatever the fuck you want?
Like Louis C.K. did. Didn't he have a kind of a
Horace and something?
You know, that before his problems.
Yeah.
He had a show that was kind of risque. They were able to use language.
FX lets you do a lot. Yeah, FX is amazing. But I just don't understand why TV hasn't taken the next step to basically narrative podcasts where you have actors doing sketch or sitcoms.
Yeah, I liked, those fake rocks that they drop on people. I love that. You know those skits where they have. I guess
you mean like the Roadrunner?
You could call it, I guess, slapstick.
Sure.
They don't do that anymore.
There's no
you know
more
those
slapstick.
fake rocks that come down and hit people.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of stuff
it's
to me.
It's because of women.
Probably.
Women won't allow it.
Asian women. But it's unbelievable. Yeah, I was disappointed.
What's with the phone? Put the phone down. It's like
it's okay. No problem.
No problem. Crazy,
no problem.
Nervous.
No problem. No problem. You want to dominate me? That's fine. That's fine. As long as you're not making noise, I think it's okay. You can do anything you want as long as you don't make noise. Did you hear any noise? Greg,
no,
Greg.
It made me feel like you're expecting a call in the middle of our podcast.
No, everything's fine. You got my full attention. Bill Burr's great too.
Bill Burr's great.
Oh man, he's a solid.
Yeah.
He's so, like yourself, I think solid people or genuine, authentic people attract one another.
Right.
If you talk to somebody and I'm identifying with your crew and I only known them 5 minutes.
Yeah. You can feel they're good people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're really solid people, and I'm very lucky.
We gravitate towards people that we don't have. You shouldn't have to figure somebody out right away.
Now, I worked with a comic recently, and I thought he was such a good guy. He was smart. We read the same books. When I read the same books as somebody, I have a deep connection to them. And then I go to the guy. I go, hey, do me a favor. Like before we did any shows, I go, do me a favor. He goes, is there anything you want me to avoid? I go, yeah, please don't do a lot of crowd work because I do some crowd work. And then when I go out, I start talking to somebody and they go, he already asked me that. Or the whole crowd.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah. So the feature act shouldn't do crowd work. That's my rule. And then the guy goes up, does a great set the first night. I have total respect for his.
Did you work with him before?
Never worked with him before. And then we get to the late show Friday night, and this dude goes up and talks to every person in the crowd. And I just immediately went, wow, I really thought before this we were going to be friends. Like, I was going to exchange numbers with him, hang out. Then I just immediately went, no, this guy has got the disease. He's got the stand-up disease where it was a rough show, and instead of having the discipline and the character to do what was expected of him, he had to break.
He went the easy path.
Yeah, and it was a desperation, and I lost respect for him.
The best way to put it is you didn't care for his style.
I don't mind it if he's the headliner. Like you said, Ian Bagg, one of my favorite comics. I'll watch that guy every night. Harlan Williams, I love good crowd work guys, but not when they're opening for me.
Right.
Do 20 minutes of material. Show the club owner that you can headline. That's your number one priority when you're featuring for somebody. Prove to the club owner that you can headline.
So he didn't do it maliciously? Or
no, he did it
because he was...
it was a desperation.
Did you challenge him on that after the show?
Next night, I said, do me a favor and take it easy on the crowd work. And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done that. He knew what I was talking about.
So
it wasn't a big deal.
Up.
But then we hung out. You know, we had a nice conversation afterwards. Yeah, he's a good guy. I would have brought him to open for me. He was one of those guys where I would have said, give me your number. I'll take you on the road with me. But now I won't.
Isn't it easier just to have some clown open up for you that is in the town that you're going to?
Yes.
As opposed to bringing someone along like a ball and chain?
It's a pain in the ass bringing somebody. And also you go like, hey, man, you want to feature for me? And they go, great, what's the money? And then I got to now call my agent. My agent calls the club. What's the money? They call me. Oh, can you get me more? Now I'm your agent? And then the club will go, well, we'll give him a hotel but no flight. And now I got to say to the guy.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
And meanwhile, if I go to a city like Denver, San Francisco, Chicago, I know they're going to have great comics. So I don't have to worry about it. But if I go to Little Rock, Arkansas, I'm bringing somebody. Because they're going to have some fucking hack there who's going to spend half his set promoting his bumper stickers that he's selling after the show.
Yeah, but you can use your first 10 minutes to just throw that gentleman under the bus.
Right.
And then he gets a chance.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes when I feel with Rose, you know, it's like a ball and chain, you know. I want to travel, and you know, and she packs for a little person.
Yeah.
She packs so much luggage.
Yeah.
God, how many panties do you need? How many crotchless panties do you need, Rose?
Maybe they're crotchless because you don't buy her new panties, you cheap fuck. They just
Hey, you're the one talking about
not paying my feature.
You're not giving him any gifts or anything.
All right, couple things I want to ask you about. What's your feeling about women's sports right now? Like WNBA is kind of blowing up with Caitlin.
Do we really need women's basketball? Come on. We've got men's basketball. Do you really want to see flat-ass, skinny women with no tits throwing a basketball around? I mean, come on. What do you do after you see a women's basketball game? Go in the parking lot and blow your fucking head off? I have a bit like that, so I don't know whether you knew that or not.
No, I didn't know that. I just assumed you were going to have an opinion on that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Women's sports, their job was to be cheerleaders. To shake their ass and show us those big, milky, white tits. And
why are they white? You don't want the black cheerleaders?
Well, you know, those milky white tits with those black background nipples, it paints a picture. You should know. Craig, is it, right, Craig?
Fitzsimmons.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Do you want to eat out all the cheerleaders?
Oh, yes. No, the cheerleaders you can kill after you have sex with a cheerleader. No one's going to miss a cheerleader. You don't like this shirt? You don't like this shirt?
No, I love this shirt. It's the easy joke, you know? It's the easy joke. I have the same one. I got it from Bali.
Wow.
What about Kamala? What's your feeling on Kamala?
Headboard Harris? Heels up Harris? Willie Brown lives up in her vagina. Is that his name, Willie Brown from California? You're from Boston originally?
New York and then Boston. Yeah, went to college in Boston.
And Joe Rogan is a good one, too, and I'm not just saying that because he writes my checks. He's a solid guy, too, very generous.
Where did that come from?
We were talking about authentic people and good people. We mentioned Bill.
Yeah, but I think we moved on to women's sports, and all of a sudden you're blowing smoke up Joe Rogan's ass?
A little bit.
A little bit doesn't hurt. No, Joe and I started together. We literally started the same week in Boston, and we used to get in cars.
1988?
Yeah.
That's
88.
when I started. Same as him.
We used to get into cars, and we would drive to New Hampshire one night, Rhode Island the next night for no money, for free, to do 5 minutes. And we basically moved our way up, opening acts, feature acts, headliners. Then we moved to New York together. Then we moved to L.A. together. And then I punched out on the Austin move. I was like, no, I don't need to do that. It's too hot. I like L.A.
Well, you work in L.A. You've got connections here. You work in the business.
You work in the business a little bit.
Different. You've got your hand in a lot of different areas of the business.
Yeah.
That you need to be here.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Define good comedy.
Surprise. You want to surprise the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get the biggest reaction, I believe, and the biggest laugh is when the audience member doesn't see it coming.
Right.
And you want to see things that, and a lot of audience members will miss the joke, and that's on them. They have to get us. We can't get them. And I have a bit where I say, I'm sorry it took me so long to get to the stage, but there was a fucking asshole in a wheelchair in the way. And I said, who likes people in wheelchairs? I mean, come on, stay home till you get better. That kind of shit. Now, the idiot audience member will take that serious.
Right.
And the other will say, because nobody in their right mind in real life says, I hate handicapped people.
But the people in the audience that don't get that, you've told me you enjoy that some of the people don't get it.
Well, what I do is I don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Because they're so stupid to take a comic serious to begin with.
Yeah.
And then to think that they don't know what satire is.
Right.
We talk about some crazy things, but in real life, there are people that really, that's the way they act and they talk. So we're kind of making fun of those people.
I want to read a couple of reviews on Reddit of one of your shows. This is literally from one show. One single show.
Is this a hack job? What is it? What do you call it? Hack? Is this a hit piece? Is this a hit piece?
First one is, damn, I saw Holtzman at Mothership. Openers worked at Mothership and crushed, and he came out, and it was the worst, most annoying piece of shit set I had ever seen. Couldn't wait for the end, and he kept going.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Shut up, Rose. What are you laughing at? No.
Next one is, okay, can you please break down the joke where he says, if you're a guy, take out your dick. If you're a lady, get on your knees and suck it. Maybe my IQ is too low because all I'm seeing is loud vulgarness, nothing clever.
Well, because you're a prude. You're a prude. You probably don't sweat when you jack off. Idiot. They analyze it. They look too, they're not living in the moment.
Yeah.
They're not moment-to-moment people.
Right.
The happiest people are moment-to-moment people.
Yes.
And these people, they're just waiting for someone to say the wrong thing.
Right.
But thanks for those very flattering reviews. This is a hit piece now. This is turning into a hit piece.
No, I do it because my favorite part of your act is when they don't get you or they yell something out and then you just lose your shit. It's the best. It's so raw. It's so honest. It's so original. And
Thank you.
To see you is like you said, it's the moment. There's never the same show twice. It's coming from here. Like I have nights where I go on and I'm feeling it and I'm grounded and I'm connected to my emotions and I'm in the moment. And then I have shows where I go on, I don't know, maybe I didn't prepare, maybe I didn't get my head right, but I'm not feeling it with them and I'm struggling. And every time I see you, I feel like you are connected. How do you get to that place before every show?
I guess it comes out of a happiness that I'm actually, because after all, there's a lot of comics that want to do this.
Right.
And we're lucky enough that they let us do this.
Yeah.
That we're on somebody's list or on somebody's radar.
Right.
So it's a happiness to just do it and a thrill. And like we talked before about you want to give them a show. You want to give them a show that you would want to see if you were an audience member.
Right.
Fuck I need new material. I mean, you hate to say the thing over again, but if they laugh their asses off, it's like the fag. I'm sorry if I said fag. I don't know. But 4 out of 5 fags use the word fag. I mean, it's a great word. Everybody loves it.
And the 5th one is a homo.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're having sex with a guy and he turns out to be a homo, then you got a problem. But I get excited. I'm working at the Mothership, you know, I didn't like the comics who at the Comedy Store sometimes in the OR they'd come up there and tell the audience how much money they were making.
Yeah.
I'm getting $15 for this, you know, fuck you. And you know, can you have a little sense of show business?
Yeah.
You know,
right.
You know, even though they say it's the lowest rung of show business.
Stand up? It's funny because it is considered that, and yet,
you know, it doesn't
then
get the
people go
respect.
like actors go, comedy is the hardest thing to do, and then you never get an Oscar. Comedic actors never get the fucking Oscar.
Oh, yeah,
yet every actor says it's harder to do comedy.
Right. Yeah, it's like a stepchild.
Yes.
But I'm excited to be up there, and of course I want to do well, and I want to stay at my age. Not that I'm old, but you know, I want to stay. The word that I'm probably
relevant.
There it is.
Yeah.
I want to stay relevant.
Yep.
You've got to stay relevant.
You stay relevant. Well, you are relevant. You're in the zeitgeist right now. I think you got a big year ahead of you.
What the hell does that mean? I hear that all my life.
It means that the business didn't really focus on you for a long time, and now you're part.
I thought it was something to do with restaurants or something. Isn't there a zeitgeist?
I think Hitler came up with the word zeitgeist.
Oh, thanks.
You are in the zeitgeist. You don't want to be in the zeitgeist. See Brian Holtzman at the Comedy Mothership 4 nights a week. Also, I'd like to see you get on the road more. I think you got to spread it around the country a little bit. And he's got a podcast that's called Dead Air Podcast that you've been doing now for a couple years.
It started in Burbank with Brian Redband.
Yeah.
And then he moved to Austin, and I moved to Austin with him, and then we did it again for a little while. Then the club wasn't open yet, the Mothership, so I went back to L.A. Then I did it again with a gentleman named Chris Morrison. We did a few episodes.
Yeah.
They're all available out there, and then it went away again. The producer got too crazy. You know, these people, they get crazy.
Yeah.
You know. And then, so we're going to start it again. Maybe Red Band has got to move downtown. He got an apartment.
Oh,
downtown.
that's nice. Good.
And maybe we'll
reestablish it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Get away from that phone.
Yeah. So every time you pick up the phone, you forget your words.
Reestablish that.
Okay.
One. So that's
good.
Nice. Yeah.
And then also the special is called #CancelHoltzman. And it's a great special. You put it out last year, I guess?
Right. And it's got 250K or 51K.
That's amazing.
Not bad for somebody who was a dog catcher.
That's right.
Not too long ago.
Yeah.
So, and they can find that by simply typing in cancelholtzman.com, and it should come right up.
Okay. I love it. It should. You have no idea.
Wait a minute. Something funny? Did I say something funny over there? Fuck yourself. No.
Brian Holtzman, thank you for being my guest.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I don't do a lot of podcasts.
Well, you're a great podcast guest. My favorite part about you as a guest is how you break the fourth wall and you look out there, and I'm sitting here going, what's he looking at? And then I realized that's how you should do it on a podcast.
Yeah.
Bring it to the people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me.
All right.
And I want to go to. Can Rose and I come to South Africa? Because we don't just no. I guess.
I'd rather you didn't. I mean, you can go, but don't go August 17th to the 23rd. All right. Thanks, pal.
Thanks. Thank you, buddy.